What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending what time zone you're in, it's Monday night, but for some of y'all, it's Tuesday morning, and congratulations to you Tuesday morningers. Monday is completely over for y'all. All right, y'all, I have a good show, a little bit of a different show, but a good show set up for you guys today. Pay attention. All right, in Behind the Feed and Off the Record, Charlamagne Tha God is under contract speculation. Also, Trey Songz is out of jail, but he might be facing some serious jail time. Candace, Owens, and Erika Kirk are meeting in person today, actually, as I'm recording this. And also, the Epstein files are due this Friday. And there's already some speculation. I have some info for you. In lead stories, we are going to give you an update on the Australian Bondi Beach attack. It has been notified, or we have been notified, that it was a father and son duo. Rob Reiner and his wife was unalived by their son, and we'll also give you an update on Brown University. Now, a little bit different, we are going to have 6 different social discussions today, social discussion of the day, and we're going to tell you what they are. We're going to cover Pop the Balloon. A girl is going viral saying, "You lead, I want to see you." Do men or women cheat more? Has social media ruined our chances of finding real love? Should you fire high-level employees for cheating? Who respects marriage more, men or women? And are more men finding reasons not to get married, and why? Also, in question of the day, what is a baby boy's name that sounds ultra wealthy? And of course, you know, we're still going to have comment of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, your devices up. Come on. Monday is almost over for everybody. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. I didn't even do that on purpose. Let's go. All right, in our first story, Behind the Feed and Off the Record, Tasha K has put this out about Charlamagne Tha God. Allegedly, Charlamagne Tha God's contract is not up for renewal. His contract ends January the 21st. A close source tells Tasha K they are not bringing him back, reportedly due to his shift in the political space. What does this mean for the future of the Breakfast Club? Okay. Every time I talk about Charlamagne or Breakfast Club, I always start with an asterisk, and I let you guys know that it's difficult for me to cover the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne Tha God. It's like a 50 Cent Eminem thing, where 50 Cent said once he will never talk bad about Eminem. Eminem was the person who put him on. Now, Charlamagne didn't put me on, but he has been very supportive of me, very uplifting of me, and he has put me on his stages, on his Instagram, beside his name, his company's name, and always believed in me and given me a light in the entertainment industry that almost nobody has had done at that level. So I will never say anything bad about Charlamagne, but because I have to do my job, I will still report. But we're not speculating. We're not saying anything other than just giving you the information that is out there. You guys are never going to hear me say anything bad about Lauren LaRosa, Jess Hilarious, Angela Yee, Envy. I feel like I'm part of the Breakfast Club family. That is how I feel when I'm around there. Not just the on-air talent, but also off-air talent. Iheart Radio has always been very good to me. So that is just the asterisk. Okay. Having said that, like I said, we got to cover things fairly. I'm going to read this caption to you, and then I'm going to play a video that has resurfaced due to Tasha K, okay? So a clip is resurfacing of Charlamagne Tha God speaking on a stage this past September, and it has people talking. During the interview, he was asked whether he plans on renewing his deal with Iheart Media, the company behind The Breakfast Club and Charlamagne Tha God's Black Effect podcast network. He dodged a question saying, "I don't like to talk business. It's not the place." Back in 2020, Charlamagne signed a 5-year deal with the radio giant, which is set to expire in just a few days. The resurfaced clip comes amid rumors from media personality Tasha K that his contract isn't up for renewal, with outside outlets noting there's been no update on his deal. Okay, let me just read that again. Resurfaced clip comes amid rumors from media personality Tasha K that his contract isn't up for renewal. So that's Tasha K putting that out there. Just want to highlight that. With other outlets reporting, there's been no update on his deal. So you can look at that a bunch of different ways. Tasha K, who is one of Charlamagne's ops. By the way, another asterisk, I just learned that the other day from another content creator. I didn't know that they had something behind the scenes going on. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then second thing that's also important here, it's other outlets are just reporting that there's no update on the deal. This could just mean that they haven't updated us on the deal. They haven't told us anything. And it could be as simple as that. So take the Tasha K element, knowing that they have something going on in the background, okay? Meanwhile, there has been major radio shakeups, including the cancellation of Hot 97's Ebro in the Morning, leaving some to question Charlamagne's future. Now, I'll be transparent with you. I have reached out to Char. Remember last time I talked about them with Dave and Dash? He sent me a DM and he's like, yo, what are you talking? Da, 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 da. And I was like, all right, let me come in and fix it the next day. So this time I was like, yo, Char, before I say anything, do you want to give me a comment? Do you want to, give me some inside information? He hasn't replied to me yet. It's typical Char. And I feel like he will reach out when he wants to reach out. And now that this is kind of picking up steam, I'm sure there's a lot of people reaching out to him. If you watch carefully this clip that I'm about to play you, from what I am feeling, he's not going to tell anybody anything until he is ready. He clearly says it on the stage back in September. So now, as the days approach, he's not going to let the cat out the bag. Charlamagne Tha God is a master at marketing. He's a master of manipulating social media to his advantage. Remember the Lauren LaRosa and Just Hilarious kind of incident? I thought that was massively played, massively done. They're both still there and they're still number one, and their ratings have even gotten just better and better. Enough talking. Here is the video that I'm going to play for you. And one thing I'm going to highlight, another thing, is Dolly, who is the CEO of Black Effect. To me, she answers the question. When the interviewer asked Charlamagne 2 or 3 times and he goes, oh, I'm going to dodge or whatever, Dolly says, why not? So again, without having or divulging anything, I feel like the proof is already here in this clip already. Y'all be the judge. And I'll have one more thing to say after. Take a look.
Behind a mic. So as you mentioned, Charlamagne, it was 2020 when you started it. And I believe it was a 5-year deal. So your renewal is coming up with Iheart. Do you plan to renew?
You know what's so interesting about 2020? Everybody that I reached out to said yes to the Black Effect Podcast Network, and that's why we were able to launch with 20 plus, 20 plus different podcasts.
So I don't think you answered my question.
Yeah, we call that the weave. I learned
the bob and weave.
Yeah, saw Donald Trump say that on Flagrant. The weave.
So we don't.
She's waiting for
Dolly, can you answer the question?
Can you repeat the question?
The question is, your deal with Iheart expires at the end of this year. Are you going to renew with Iheart?
Why not?
I don't like to talk business. It's not the place to talk business.
Yeah.
See? That's the interviewer says, okay, Dolly, can you answer? And she said, why not? And then Charles like, I don't like to talk business. So my first inclination, and I promise you guys, I don't know anything. I'm not keeping nothing for y'all. My first inclination is Char is using this to have people speculate, to have people talk, which just brings more awareness, brings more attention, and then he'll come out when he is ready and let us know the deal. Now, I will say that Char brilliantly negotiated his deal. I don't think I'm letting anything out here, but he is, I think it's 51% and Iheart is 49%. If I'm not mistaken, when it comes to ownership of Black Effect, something like it was a good deal. Now, Char has always made really smart decisions ahead of time. For me, yes, The Breakfast Club is a great show and it's great on radio. But what, for me, in my opinion, put The Breakfast Club as a cultural phenomenon worldwide is their YouTube page. And if you guys know your history, there used to be different YouTube pages, and Charlamagne was the one who was like, yo, we need to clip up, put ourselves on YouTube. And I think there was like somebody that owned a YouTube page that had a lot of followers, and they negotiated something and took that page. If y'all remember back in the day, there was a couple of different Breakfast Club pages. Anyways, from what I know, that Char was like, yo, we got to put more weight into this. And he really was ahead of the time when it comes to YouTube and new media. So maybe it could be where Iheart still stays the distributor and their percentages stay and they keep Black Effect, and maybe Char leaves radio. Maybe it's time for him. For those followers, you've heard him saying, hey, I don't always want to be the talent. I would like to build Breakfast Club to a place where somebody else can be the talent, or he maybe comes in sometimes. You know, Lauren LaRosa has been doing an amazing job. I told her that to her face while we were in court together. You know, Jess does a great job. Maybe NV2 might be switching up. He's always said that he wants to build a brand. And Char is always saying that if you don't build a brand that benefits everybody, then you're not building a big enough brand. So is it time for him to leave and the Breakfast Club stays and he only comes at certain times and he's still executive producer or still whatever? I would not be surprised. But what I would be surprised about is him just leaving Iheart totally and, you know, just going off on a whole new venture. But even if he does, I will think it was not from bad blood like Ebro was alluding to with Hot 97. For those who watched yesterday's show, I would think more it is a more strategic, forward-thinking move that he sees something 5 years from now or 10 years from now, and he's like, I need to make this move now for the future, because Char is a planner. So that is my 2 cents on this Char Breakfast Club iHeartRadio. I feel like I still did and reported how I normally would. I hope you guys think I did a good job. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our second story behind the feed and off the record, Trey Songz arraigned after allegedly putting hands on a Manhattan nightclub employee during a closing time dispute. All right, this happened a couple hours after we posted yesterday's show. Somebody on Trey Songz' team reached out to me. So I have a direct statement and I also have direct insight into the story. So we're going to follow this closely with an inside source, but I wanted to just set this up, but know that we're going to be following this story in the future, okay? Video footage is now circulating showing Trey Songz being arrested following a heated early morning incident at a New York City nightclub. According to prosecutors and reporting from the New York Post, the R&B singer was taken into custody after an alleged altercation at Drama nightclub in Times Square. Authorities say the incident occurred around 4:24 a.m. on December the 4th while Trey was inside the club with his crew. Prosecutors claim a nightclub employee informed Trey that the venue was closing. That interaction allegedly caused the singer to become needlessly irate, with the dispute escalating moments later. Authorities allege Trey put hands on the employee in their face area, leading to police intervention and his arrest, now captured on video that's making rounds online. We have that video for you. We'll play it in a second. Songz later appeared in a Manhattan criminal court on Sunday, where he was arraigned on an assault charge connected to the nightclub incident. Court reports also show the employee was granted an order of protection against the singer. However, the nightclub situation wasn't the only incident that night. Prosecutors say Trey is also facing a second-degree criminal mischief charge tied to a separate incident earlier that morning at Mirage Restaurant in Eclipse Bay. Authorities alleged he caused more than $1,500 in damages, reportedly broke hookahs, DJ equipment, and sofas. A restaurant manager told police he witnessed the damage firsthand. Trey Songz is scheduled to return to court on February 18th as both cases remain ongoing. Okay, now, like I said, I have a direct statement On behalf of Trey Songz via his counsel, Trey Songz was charged in connection with an incident that occurred last week. He is cooperating fully and looking forward to the facts coming to light. Separately, last night, Trey was confronted by individuals who instigated a confrontation and attempted to surround him. The security intervened to protect him and contain the situation, and the altercation occurred in the ensuing confusion. Public figures are often treated as targets for instigation in pursuit of headlines or financial gains. We are confident the facts will speak for themselves. So, like I said, you know what? Let's just go to the video. Now, before I play the video, I just want to note that this video doesn't capture the incident. Of course, this is after when the police were there. From the looks of the video, it looks to me like Trey Songz isn't in his right mental state. I'm just going to say that and leave it there until we have more information. Take a listen.
I'm saying under what charges?
I'll let you know.
You have to read him his rights and let him know what he's under arrest.
Sir,
can I not? Hey, what?
You have to.
All right, bring him out.
Are you mad at me? What did I do? Just have a seat. Watch that.
See, for me, it's the end part when he goes to the police officer and says, "Are you mad at me? What did I do?" You could tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what's up. Anyways, look, like I said in the beginning, we have inside information on this, so no need to speculate on anything. I'm waiting to hear some more information, and when I have that, I will follow back up with this story. Trey Songz is out. No bail has been set. He is at home. We'll let you guys know. Until then, let me know what you think about the story in the comment section below. All right, in our third story behind the feed and off the record, Candace Owens has done it again to me. Nobody in this space makes me flip-flop more than Candace Owens, and I don't care because I keep it real. I don't mind if I flip-flop. Yesterday, I was like, all right, it's done. Candace was caught lying. She said if Erika Kirk told her to stop, she would stop. Now she's making up things saying, she didn't tell me to stop. She said to stop lying. No, she said to stop. And Candace Owens all week didn't stop. I was like, we caught her in a lie. I'm done. We know this is all for clicks. We're done. We now know. Literally 24 hours, Candace Owens puts this out. I'm very much looking forward to this conversation. And this was reply to Erika Kirk that put this out. Candace Owens and I are meeting for a private in-person discussion on Monday, December the 15th. Real Candace Owens and I have agreed that public discussion, live streams, and tweets are on hold until after this meeting. I look forward to a productive conversation. Thank you. You see how I'm always saying why I feel like women should be in leadership positions? That was quick. Two women were, let's meet and talk. Let's not start an all-out battle and be all crazy and let all our egos come together. Let's have a conversation. Let's put everything on hold until then. That is the beauty of women. For those of you who drag me for supporting women all the time, this is a great example of women in leadership positions. Now, I will say, though, depending on the outcome of this conversation, let's assume it comes out positive. Do you guys think that Candace Owens will stop talking about Charlie Kirk? Do you really think? Remember, we did a deep dive into Candace Owens, just her YouTube page. Forget about sponsorship money or whatever. Her YouTube page went from 1 million views per show to 5 million, 6 million, some 10 million. That's 10xing her money to now settling at around a 2 or 3. If after today she doesn't mention Charlie Kirk's name at all, what does that mean for her show? Where does Candace come out of this conversation finding balance? Does Erika Kirk find balance in saying, okay, I hear you, I don't know where this is going to go. This is going to be interesting, man. I cannot see Candace Owens no longer mentioning Charlie Kirk's name and literally just talking about something else, because Erika, that's what Erika said. Stop. She said, point blank, period, stop. Don't talk about TPUSA. Don't talk about my husband. Don't talk about my husband. Stop. And I let you guys know last week that Tyler Robinson showed up in court for the first time. There'll be a ruling at the end of December. It will be about media and about something else. And they're only going to hear evidence in like May. So these two women are coming in, one saying, Candace Owens, I'm not going to stop. I want to know the truth. Another one, Erika Kirk, saying, do not say anything. Let the justice system prevail. Stop saying my husband's name and TPUSA. Do they find a common ground? Does Candace say what she said in the beginning, which is Erika rules, that's her husband. If she says stop, I'm going to stop. And Candace completely just goes to Erika's side and she stops? I really don't know. I would like to hope that they find common ground. And I said this yesterday or the day before. If Erika is not shady, she shouldn't be upset with Candace asking questions and finding and giving us information that she finds and not depending solely on what the FBI and the investigation tells us. If you really want the truth, you won't be concerned with the way Candace is going about it. But Erika could say, I feel uncomfortable that you're doing it on your YouTube channel and you're making millions of dollars and you're pocketing it. Maybe you could donate it. Maybe you could do something. Is it the channel that's bothering her, or is it the questions that are bothering her? Because that's what a lot of people don't like, that you're sitting down here and you're making 5x, 6x times your money to investigate your friend's unaliving. And she's doing it in such a content creator way. Stay tuned tomorrow for more. I have this, but I'll let you know then. Like, she's doing it in a way that she knows is going to generate clicks and she knows is going to generate interest. And she's become the #1 podcast in the world. So I can understand Erika being like, do you want to know what the real question is? Or do you want people to keep tuning in every day and you want to try to keep getting your views up? To me, that's what they got to find out. Candace has to find out from Erika, do you want the truth? And Erika has to find out from Candace, do you want the truth or do you want money? That's what the meeting is going to be about. Cannot wait to see. I would love to be a fly on the wall. Let's see how it works out. Until then, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section below. All right. In our fourth story behind the feed and off the record, just a little quick update, or want to put you guys on notice. The Epstein files are due legally this Friday. If you guys remember all of that House talk, Senate talk, it went through Donald Trump. At first, he wanted to stop the bill from passing. Oh, this is crazy. All the Republicans don't sign it. Everybody in the House signed it except for one person. The Senate didn't even bring it to the floor. They automatically sent it to the president's desk. Trump signed it right away. Well, that bill comes due this Friday, ladies and gentlemen. The bill states that we, the public, should be getting every single thing in the Epstein files, period. But legally, if Pam Bondi and the DOJ has an active investigation, they could hold things back. Now, some people are alluding, and that's why I put this here in behind the feed and off the record. Some people are alluding to the fact that we, the public, should be very careful this week because we know that Donald Trump loves to create chaos to deflect things or people talking about him. He is the master at that. So some people have been saying they're predicting that something other than the Epstein files will come out this week. It will be a national, maybe a global headline Then on Thursday or Friday, they'll put some Epstein things out. They'll put, everything will be redacted. You won't hear anything, blah, 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 and it will just be like, oh, we can't put it all out because there's an active investigation. And because there will be something so much bigger going on, we're not even going to talk about it that much. And we're just going to be like, okay, whatever. We knew we weren't getting the files, and it will all blow over. And then it's Christmas. All next week, a lot of content creators, a lot of even legacy media will be off air. So Friday, a big event, social media that's taking over. The next 2 weeks, people are away on vacation. You're going to come back in January, another event will happen, and we will have never gotten the full story with the Epstein files. That's what the conversation is. And I'm going to just add a little asterisk to this, because y'all know that I've been telling you since last year, and then it came to fruition a couple of months ago when we've all been kind of, we don't know if it's going to happen, but there is still the Trump pardon for Diddy that's potentially on the table, and also for Ghislaine Maxwell. She asked for that. Those two things could erupt and cause such conversation that people even forget about the Epstein files. And remember, when the Diddy thing came to TMZ and everybody started covering it, I had told you guys that Trump and Diddy's team met into a roadblock. They didn't like that it got out into the public, and Trump pardoned the other congressman. I forget his name now. I think George Santos, I think it was. And I told you, hey, it was supposed to be Diddy, but he pardoned George. George didn't even know it was coming, and that was to show Diddy, don't play with me. I don't have to do anything. Then I also heard that it was coming, the Diddy pardon was coming around the holiday time. I even played you an audio from Christian Combs, King Combs, Diddy's son, saying in an interview, hey, he might be home before his sentence is up, and he might be home for the holidays. So you've heard it from me, you heard it from his son, and if you put the tea leaves together of what people are saying, maybe if he pardons somebody on the Diddy level, whether it be Diddy, Ghislaine, somebody else, it might cause a big enough distraction. And look at all the Diddy documentary stuff that took over the news all week last week. Imagine he pardons Diddy this week. You're going to be fighting in the headlines. Trump hid this and hid that with the Epstein, but Diddy is out. And the mayhem that would be if Diddy is out, and that could be the deal. I'll give you a pardon. You need to do press, you need to do talking, you need to do this, da, 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 da. Christmas comes, and then we forget about Epstein. And just remember, Epstein is not only Trump. Epstein will hurt Republicans, it will hurt Democrats, it hurts a lot of people. So we shall see. This is in off the record, behind the scenes. It's a thought. So let me know, but just be wary that something might be coming this week. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our first lead story, we are not looking for any further offenders. Police commissioner says the men in the Hanukkah attack were father and son. All right, as promised, I just wanted to give you guys a little follow-up for that horrific attack that happened. Was it Saturday? It was across the weekend. I think it was either Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Saturday. In Australia, I'm sure most of you have seen the videos out there of these two men doing these horrific things. I think to date it's 15 people that have been unalived, or 16, and 40 injured. The latest is that this was a father and son duo, which it makes, you can't make it worse than it already is, but the thought of a father having a conversation with his son to do something this despicable and deplorable. And this son is 24 years old. It's not like he was a teenager and didn't know what he was doing. But just the fact that a father and son would do this, like the damage that was probably happening in that household for all these years, for the son to think to do something like this, or for a father to encourage his son to do something like this, is beyond comprehension to me, Again, not making or taking away blame from the son, because at 24 years old, you know right from wrong, and you can look to your father and say, hey, you need help. I understand you might be mad at something, or you might have feelings or whatever. You're allowed to have your feelings. You're allowed to have your own opinion. You can have freedom of speech. Go online and talk. We're all for that. What they did was disgusting. The father is no longer with us. The son is in critical but stable condition. And you know me. I watch the news. I watch Fox. I watch CNN, and every single news outlet, depending on whoever you cover, everybody says the same thing. Like, when is something like this going to stop? When are things like this no longer going to happen? Now, like I said yesterday, it's just a matter of time before it gets political, and it's already heating up to be a little political. But I think the bigger question is the GUN violence, and how do we get more control? And I feel like this incident, it makes the question of GUN control harder, because the GUN laws in Australia are some of the strictest in the world, and you still have incidents like this happening. And then we're going to talk about Brown University, and in the US that doesn't have great laws, and the same things are happening, right? That's why I always talk a lot about mental health, because when you help the people, it's not so much about the laws more than helping the people and the society. But hey, I don't have all the answers, and you can't solve everything at one shot. But anyways, that is the update. We're going to go next to the Brown University update. Let me know what you guys think about Australia in the comment section below. All right, in our second lead story, we're going to give you a Brown University update. I have some words from students that were inside the school. Hard to hear. I also want to give you guys an update on the alleged person of interest. Yesterday it was reported that they had a person of interest. They found somebody in a hotel room. They had 2 GUNs on them. They held the person. A lot of media picked up the information, and they said the person is captured. They have the suspect, without reading the details. It was a person of interest, and some outlets actually got the wrong picture. There's some pictures that were going out of a blonde hair, blue-eyed young adult, and it turns out that it was a brown hair young adult. Also, it has turned out that now the police have released that person of interest. They didn't have enough information to charge them, and they got the wrong person. Now, they're trying to find out who put this name out there. I think it's going to be hard to find in 2025. Everybody wants to rush to break a story. But I saw somewhere where now this person's name is out there all over the internet, and this person potentially has done nothing. And not potentially, if he's not charged and released, then he didn't do anything. And now his name will forever be attached, with some people thinking that he was the one who did this incident. So huge mistake on the investigators or whoever let that information out. So just the update is the suspect is still at large, and they had to scrap everything and start over from the beginning. And from what I know, the only evidence that has been let out to the public is that same video of him walking out. I think we played it for you yesterday. Some student information. One person recounted this story, saying he was inside the classroom. He heard arguing and fighting outside of the door. He heard students screaming, and then 5 minutes later, he saw the GUN man enter the room, and one student said he was face to face with him. He said the GUN was so big and so long, he thought it was the end of the road for him. He didn't elaborate on how he got away or why he wasn't struck, but I guess there was a lot of commotion going on, and maybe the GUN man wanted to get in the room, or maybe he had some other motive. One student said that they were in the classroom when he walked in and took out his phone and texted his parents and said, He is in the classroom. I am so scared. Imagine a parent getting that text message from their child. What do you do? And not knowing if 2 seconds later something has happened. Just crazy. Like I said, with Australia, you have one country that has laxed laws. This happens. You have another country that has some of the strictest laws, and almost the same thing happens, and also at the same time, like I told you, nobody has the answers. There's never one solution, but the people who do these things need help. And I'm not taking away, they're horrible people, but they need help. And there are things that has transpired in their life that has turned them horrible. We're all born with 5 senses, and we are subject to our surroundings. Some our upbringings, and some the society at large. And I just think if we work a little bit harder on noticing these things, talking with people, having more resources, having more outlets where people don't feel like they need to get to this point, I think personally that would help us as a society. I think having more access to therapy, having more access to places where people could go before they feel so frustrated, I think it would help. I think there needs to be more money set towards those kind of resources for people that don't have the extra money to pay for it themselves. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, in our third lead story, Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle Reiner, were reportedly unalived by their son, Nick. Multiple sources report that Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, were found unalived in their LA home by their daughter, Rumi. Imagine finding your parents like that. Sources allege their son, Nick, was involved. Authorities responded Sunday afternoon and are investigating. Nick has previously spoken publicly about past struggles with drug addiction. Once again, not to repeat the same thing, but somebody having an addiction, somebody having problems, somebody having struggles, when there is not enough resources and not enough help for people out there, these are the results. Please don't mistake this as an excuse. Please don't mistake this as anything else, but this is not normal. And I don't even want to talk about the way that they were unalived. If you know, you know, it was not nice, okay? And I feel so bad for their daughter, Rumi, to have found your parents like that. Talking about getting somebody help, like she needs to be in therapy right away. She needs to be speaking to somebody like instantaneously. And of course, from what I've heard, Nick has been arrested, not just investigated. This was from a couple hours ago, and he has been arrested from what I've heard. But again, arrest him and get him help. He's spoken publicly about his addictions. Addictions are people not being able to deal with things in their mind. They self-medicate themselves, and they cannot find balance. They cannot find who they are, and they don't know how to deal with the world. They don't know how to deal with their thoughts. They don't know how to deal with themselves. And these are the results. So that is the Rob Reiner story. Also, just quick notes that his son has been arrested, and Rob Reiner was from New York. Now, Donald Trump has commented. President Donald Trump has commented presidentially. Listen to this. President Donald J. Trump alleges that Rob Reiner passed away due to the anger he caused from having Trump derangement syndrome. This is what Donald Trump, the president of the United States, put out on True Social. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affection with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession with President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpasses all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob Reiner and Michelle rest in peace. I would like to reread one sentence. Very once talented movie director, and comedy star has passed away together with his wife Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affection with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome. He is saying that his unaliving was due to him not liking Donald Trump. That is what the President of the United States wrote. While we know what has happened, you guys know, my daily listeners, you know that we are independent here. We talk positively and negatively about each side. And I do that because I want to build a community that everybody can feel welcome and everybody could talk, whether you're Republican or you're Democrat, because I love to hear both sides. And I ask my Republican and MAGA followers, I appreciate you guys. I want to know what you think about this statement. There has been people, certified accounts on his own True Social account that was like, Trump, we love you, we support you, but please take this down. This has to be one of the worst things that Donald J. Trump has ever done or has ever said. You're taking things to the next level now. Trump supporters, MAGA supporters, what do you think about this? Please let me know in the comment section below.
This is just the beginning, and people have to understand our democracy is being taken away from us, and we only have about a year. Just to be clear about this, we have a year before this country becomes a full-on autocracy and democracy completely leaves us. And we're looking at the election in 2026, and Donald Trump knows. He knows that in a free and fair election, he will lose. He will lose the House. The House will flip and will become into Democratic hands. There'll be committee chairs that'll be able to hold hearings. And this is the last thing he wants. So this little, these ICE agents and the National Guard, and now he's called the military in from all over the world to talk to them about. Don't be surprised when polling booths are surrounded by American military in the guise of making sure that the elections are fair and that nobody's tampering with anything. And when you see violence breaking out, which there'll be protests, there'll be inciting violence, there'll be some violence, and they'll kick back. Then you'll see the commandeering of voting machines, ballot boxes, to make sure that election is secure.
First heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk. What was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror. That should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems.
All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, found this out here. I wanted to tell you guys quickly. You are wearing your winter coats wrong. Okay, this is crazy. You're wearing your winter coat wrong, and I'm sorry to be this person, but it's 8 degrees in Chicago, and you need to stay warm. This is how you wear the fur part of your coat properly. I am shocked that as a former retailer that has sold winter jackets for 10 or 15 years, nobody has ever told me this, and I've never heard of it, and I'm embarrassed. Listen to this.
Guys, you're wearing your coats wrong. Please stop wearing it like this. This is not meant to be stylish. It's meant to be functional. You're supposed to fold it in like this, and it covers your ears and it blocks air. You zip your coat all the way to the top, and it blocks air from coming in, and you stay so much warmer. If you leave it like this, all that air is still hitting you and you're not warm.
All right, in our second quick story, Bronny James allegedly got his longtime girlfriend, Parker Whitfield, pregnant. LeBron James might be a grandpa after rumors circulate about Bronny's girlfriend, Parker Whitfield. Did I say it wrong before? Sorry, Parker Whitfield being pregnant. All right, I don't have any ties, however, to LeBron's team or whatever, so nothing I could look into this. But I have seen it come on some pretty reliable blogs. I feel like Bronny is pretty young to be having a kid, but LeBron had a kid young, so who knows? But could you imagine a grandfather being the head of an NBA team, possibly being in the playoffs or the finals? That would be crazy, because we know that he's definitely not retiring this year. He's definitely going to have a grand finale. So I think he's going to retire next year. But if Bronny's girlfriend is pregnant now, that means she's probably going to deliver, if she's pregnant now, sometime maybe in the off season. So he'll have a full year as a grandpa. LeBron, it's time to retire, brah. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Bronny is a kid on the way? And what do you think about LeBron being a grandpa still playing in the NBA? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all. This brings us to everyone's favorite segment. And like I said, we're going to add on to this segment comments and social discussion of the day. All right, before we start both of those two things, I have a very important question to ask you. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Well, let me answer that question for y'all. Yes, they are, all three of them, if you are not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform. Please go to my sponsor below, aura.com/trendoutloud to get your 14-day free, I emphasize, free trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. If you're ever wondering how scammers get to your phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, here is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data legally. It should be illegal, but they do it legally. And they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. That is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and outlouders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information off of these sites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts if your credit card or any banking information is ever found. You also get a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they have US-based around-the-clock customer service. Also, in the event that anything should ever go wrong, Aura also includes, not offers, includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. Every time you shop online, your information is stored in the background. Yes, you can email every site and say, hey, can you erase my information? Don't sell my information, etc. You could do it with Aura one time, and they just take all your stuff off the background of every site free automatically. That's what they do, okay? And they'll do it free for the next 14 days. And even if not, you could just find out any of your information that's not out there just by signing up, and they'll do that for free just so they can show you what is out there. And I have yet to find one person that's ever signed up and nothing is out there. Unless you don't shop online, which is impossible because you're watching the show online. So you have to do something online, all right? Okay. Oh, yeah, sorry. Second link below, QR code beside me. All right. let's go to comments of the day. We're going to go here. We're going to see view all, and we're going to click newest. We're going to scroll down. We're going to do a raffle style, pick and choose here. Boom! We want all that smoke. All right, this one is from the Iowa girl, and she says, because the bad guys doing these incidences, etc., are usually radical, so the reporting on their beliefs will more than likely prove out to be radical too. My take. Okay, interesting take. I think what you mean by that is some radicals will take that and use it to further their radical ideas. I see where you're coming from, if that is what you're saying. And while I agree with you, there's obviously going to be people like me who report it and say that, there are better ways to go about things. There's a better way to deal with things like mental health and therapy, et cetera, et cetera. And while I think there's people out there and there's no solution, is that, like I said, the more resources and the more we remind people that there's options out there, I think we can not ever eradicate radicalism. It's just always going to be there. But I feel like you can deal more with the masses when people understand that there is power in getting help and speaking and communicating and dealing with the things that are going on in your mind. It's all a psychological thing. When you can understand the thoughts that are going on in your mind, I feel like it could quiet down some radicalism. That's just my thoughts. All right. Before we move on to social discussion, just want to remind you of two things. A lot of people have always asked me, hey, do you have PayPal? Do you have Venmo? We want to give back to the show. I'm going to tell you two ways to give back to the show. The first one is there's a thanks button at the bottom of every single video. You can just click that thanks button. You get a dial. You can decide whatever you want to donate to the store, to the show. And why I prefer it other than Venmo is that we could stay connected. It shows up a little thanks. You could change that thanks and put whatever comment you would like. It gives me a notification. I heart it. It's like sending me a text message. I heart it. I like it. I reply back to you right away. And if you like, I also could read it on the next day's show. Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right, another way to stay even more connected to the show is to sign up for the Out Loud membership today. With the Out Loud membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live stream, member-only videos, and early access to new videos, and also member shoutouts. Also, you get access to my vlogs, which is fun, weekly, bi-weekly, kind of just like behind the scenes, like what's going on in my private life, and we kind of like deep dive into thoughts. So make sure you sign up today. First link below, or there's like a join button above me. When you get to the membership window, you'll see different levels. Out Loud Proud, Member, MVP. That was also just a result of people saying, hey, we want to give back a little bit more for the month. We watch you like every day. So that's kind of like a tip menu. Just want to let you guys know we're all big one happy family. Every level of membership gives you the same access as everybody. It's just up to you what you want to give. And all the support that we get, we appreciate. All right. So sign up and be an Out Loud member today. Okay. Like I said in the beginning, I love social discussion. I love getting into in-depth conversations around relationships and just humans in general. So I'm going to try to start exploring social discussions a little bit more. You guys let me know in the comment section if you like it. Today we have 5 of them, okay? So the first one that we're going to tackle is one that's going on from Pop the Balloon. Listen to this woman's words carefully for me, please. People on the internet there's two sides. One, she's submissive. She doesn't know what she wants. She just wants to be led by a man. And then there's other people who are like, this is beautiful. I love what she's saying. This is the way to start a perfect relationship. This is a great balance, etc., etc. Y'all listen, and then I'll let you know my thoughts Take a look.
Trying to see where your mind is. So I'm going to let you ask the question because you are the initiator, and I'll follow that.
So what does your initial first date look like with a man?
My initial first date is asking him where he wants to bring me. And daytime, is he a planner? So I will know kind of where he's at and what he has in store and what type of life I would be walking into. So my initial first date would be up to the man.
Okay. Well, I wasn't saying like plan, like what type of stuff would you like to do on the first date? As far as are you into?
I want to do what he wants to do.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm there to learn him,
Yeah.
and I'm there to know him,
But he got to learn you too, though.
and he'll learn me when I walk into his world.
Okay. God damn. Okay.
But walk into my world first. I'm not providing a world for you, so
Not at all.
my world really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It matters to the extent of what have I cultivated?
Yeah.
Have I nurtured my world? Where can my world take him, right? When I enter his world. So that's why I won't present the preconceived notion of what I want to do, because he might show me something new, and now I just
Right.
limited myself
Yeah.
to what I'm already exposed to, and I never gave him a chance to step me into his world. So
Damn. Okay. Can we bring her up here or what?
All right, let's break this down, okay? The first question is her being able to ask him something, and she's like, no, forget what I want to ask. I want you to ask me something. I want to learn you. So he's like, all right, let's throw it back. Where would you like me to take you? And she's like, look, I want to know your world. Don't ask me where you want to take me. I want to know about you. Then he said, okay, fine. I get that, and that's fine, but can you give me like some options of where you would like me to take you? And at least it gives you some direction. And she goes, no, I want to learn you. And I feel like that is where some people are thinking like, yo, Ma, just tell him some things. Like, what are you like? You don't know what you like. You don't have any opinion. You just want to follow him. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think that she is saying, hey, I want to use the first dates to learn about you and find out who you are. Doesn't matter about me right now. I want to be invested in finding out about you. There's sometimes where you could ask people things, but going out with somebody and finding out once you've determined that they're not cray-cray, and that's the best way to learn more about that world. So I think that's smart on her part. He then says, yes, but I want to learn about your world. And she says, you'll learn about me when I walk into your world. And here is where she gets a little submissive. And she says, my world doesn't matter. It matters after I learn about your world. And the only part that matters in my world, it's what I have cultivated over my time before meeting you, and what I have cultivated can help us. So again, that might be a little submissive, and she might be a woman who's a little submissive, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think people are mistaken her whole comment as she's a submissive woman who doesn't know what she wants, where it's not at all. She literally is saying, look, for me, dating is, all right, we've talked a little bit. You're gotten to the point where I feel comfortable enough to go out with you. Now, I want to know you. And I'm going to know you and observe you through your actions and seeing your world. And when I feel comfortable, then we could talk about my world. And my world just so happens to be a man that leads. And I have a world, and my world will help you. And you could decide if you like my world. But first and foremost, I want to make sure I'm seeing what's going on in your world first. And I think that is brilliant for men and women. Words are words. Seeing somebody's world and how they function in the world, how they move in the world is brilliant. And then she ends it off by giving even another reason that shows that this is not all about submission. And she says, he might show me something new and I'm just limiting myself. So that really just shows me like she feels like she's the prize, but she doesn't have to say that she's the prize. She is like, all right, I know what I can offer. I know who I am. Let me see who you are. And I'm so smart to know that why should I limit myself in telling you what I like? Show me something, bruh. She is looking for a man or a partner that is going to show up in his world and also show her something new in his world. And then when she gets those two things and she's comfortable, then she's going to be, all right, here's my world. And then hopefully marry or get into a serious relationship or whatever. I think this statement is brilliant. I think on both sides. And y'all know I love equal relationships. So, you show me my world. Sorry, let me show you my world first as the man. Okay, we've done this, got that. Now let me see your world. You know what I mean? And then when those two worlds, if you guys decide that they're beautiful together, then is when you join it and you have the yin and yang and you're happily ever after. I love this statement. I think more people should apply this to dating. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our second social discussion today is a divorce lawyer answers the question, who cheats more, men or women? I'll play the video for you. He breaks down something that I find really interesting. And he says pretty much what we already know. Men might cheat more, but women cheat more like secretly. They're not finding out as much and they cheat kind of like bigger. So he breaks down men like cheat stupidly and women will have like affairs. More importantly, the thing that I want to talk about, he talks about when a man finds out that a woman cheats on him, his first question is, did you have sex with him? And men look at it more as a property thing, like, did he take my property? But a woman looks at it like, you cheated, but do you love her? And I find that dynamic so interesting. I think the reason why I find it so interesting is because I have both. Because you guys know how much I love being in touch with my feminine side. I try as much as I can. At the end of the day, I am a man at the end of the day, but I love to try to have the introspectiveness and the intuition and the depth as a woman would have. I fail sometimes, but I try. And both things would affect me. The property side and the, what was it about for you? Take a listen to the video. We'll talk about it more on the other side.
Do men or women cheat more? That is a great question. I would say in my experience, men cheat more, but women cheat better. And cheating is not all created the same because there's a difference between a dalliance and an affair. An affair is like a full-on thing, and I think we can all agree those are different things. But men and women approach cheating differently in my experience, and they react to cheating differently in my experience. And I've said it before, when a man finds out that his wife cheated, his first question is, did you f*** him? When a woman finds out her husband cheated, the first question is usually, do you love her? Question is, what does this mean to you? Does this person mean more to you than I do? Versus, has this person taken my property? Has this person touched my property? Men and women both cheat a lot. Men get caught more often in my experience than women do. Women, when they cheat, they're better about it in terms of how they hide it.
Yeah, so the discussion for me is, and men, let me know if this is how you feel too. Do you just look like, somebody was at my property? Men are very, I'm like that. This is, you're mine, you belong to me, this, whatever, blah, 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 in a respectful way, not in a sort of demeaning way. And I feel like women feel like that too, but not as much. But like I said, I think it's from the introspectiveness of, were you at a club and you were, doing something stupid, or were your boys, were on vacation? What does it mean? You know what I'm saying? Also, I think something that he didn't talk about there is also, how did you find out? That for me is the third thing that makes it even worse. Did you lie about it? Did I find out about it? Did you have an opportunity to tell me and I found out about it 6 months later? Have you been carrying this in our marriage for 6 months? Oh, Lord. gosh forbid. Then what do you do? But I would think, and I would like to think, that I would, of course, be upset, of course, be hurt. But for me, in a marriage, there's kids, there's marriage or things, I would really like to figure out, like he said, was it a one-time thing or was it an affair? If it's an affair, this was longer lasting, there's a relationship. I feel like if there was a continued relationship, there's something there. That means there was something broken in our marriage that you weren't getting. And, we got to look into that. But the question is women, do you feel like this stereotype is true? And do you feel like if a guy cheats on you and it's just like stupidness, there's no love, there's no affair, there's no nothing, you could forgive? And men, do you feel like you have the same issue I have, where there's the typical guy thing, the ego thing, like, what? And then also, do you think, what was wrong in the relationship? What was missing? What was this and whatever? And do you explore both of them? Very good conversation to have. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our third social discussion of the day. Has online dating ruined our dating lives? So I'm going to play a video here for you. This a woman talking about her posting up a bikini picture, and the attention that she gets online is almost unmatched of the attention that she can get from her partner. And she feels like it is ruining online. Well, she thinks that it's ruining our society. Take a listen.
If I post a picture online, a bikini picture online, there's nothing my husband can do that could compete with that level of accolade.
Attention.
Impossible.
The compliments, the attention, the messaging, the you're so sexy and beautiful, and all these different things from thousands or potentially millions of men
around the world
who have money and all these things.
Yeah, and there's nothing he can do. He can't post online and get the same reaction, and more so, he can't give me the same level of validation. So what's happened is we've created a setup in society that means men have to compete with a level of validation they can't compete with. And as a result, when we get into relationships, if we don't feel completely soothed all the time, he must be a narcissist. He must be a manipulator. He must be gaslighting. He, rather than I.
The truth about validation in modern love. Have relationships become more about validation than connection? We live in a world where attention is currency and the imbalance is real. Men are expected to pour out constant reassurance while women swim in a sea of online praise. When that stream of validation slows, men are suddenly labeled as narcissists, emotionally unavailable, or gaslighting. But maybe the real problem isn't men. Maybe it's the culture of external validation that's replacing genuine intimacy with dopamine hits and constant likes. Let's talk about it. When love becomes performance, authenticity dies. When validation becomes the goal, respect disappears. And when attention replaces appreciation, connection collapses. Are we chasing hearts online while losing them in real life? Woo! I 100% agree. 100% agree. But there's an asterisk. Asterisk. I 100% agree. And I think that Instagram, especially Instagram, has really put a strain. But I think at the end of the day, I have confidence that a strong, confident, and a mature, balanced woman will not let online affect her. And I'll tell you the reason why. A strong, mature, balanced woman knows that the guys that are liking or DMing them are doing that, yes, to them, and they're getting the attention, but they also know that they're doing it to 10 more women that night. And then the next day, it's another 10 women and another 10 women. So I'm not a woman. I never posted a bikini picture. And I'm sure it must be gratifying. The likes, the attention, the DMs, I'm sure it must be. But when you are really focused and when you're really balanced, it's coming from nothing because it's coming from a picture. if you were to post something that is just really like you, that has nothing to do with any sort of physical attraction, and it was something like, I don't know what it could be. Anyways, something like, I don't have an example now, but you know what a guy is replying to in a bikini picture or a picture that has any sort of physical attraction. And while it's gotta be reassuring in some way, it also is not reassuring to somebody who's balanced and doesn't need that, because you know what it's about. And I think more importantly is that you know that it's going to be to the next girl and to the next girl. You cannot think that that like is only on you, and this guy is only liking one picture every 3 months, let's just say. And he's like, oh, this is the girl of my dreams from this bikini picture. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, if your page is, I don't know, about business or about something, whatever, about, something that has nothing to do with any sort of physicality, and somebody's like, hey, I like your stance on business, or I like your stance on that, and you're literally like dressed in like a business suit, then you could be like, oh, he's liking for that, or he wants to have a conversation. But even at that, it's like, he is surfing, just doing that with everybody. So I would like to think and still have confidence in, especially women out there, that it's like, okay, but I'm not going to let that get to me, because I know what's really up. Just my take. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our fifth social discussion, should you fire high-level employees for cheating? Listen to this.
As soon as I found out about it, I terminated both of them immediately. One of the things I've gotten so much criticism of online was when I publicly shared a TikTok about firing somebody because I found out that she was cheating on her significant other, and the other person also had a significant other. And as soon as I found out about it, I terminated both of them immediately.
Wait, someone was cheating with someone in the company?
Yeah.
Oh, and they both had partners?
Both had partners outside of the company. As soon as I caught wind of it, it wasn't even like a split-second decision. I can't have this in my environment, especially somebody close around me. People trust me and should trust any leader to help them make their success easy. They're going to cheat on the person that they're supposed to spend the rest of their life with. Do you think that they're cheating on their work? That person is a liability to the environment.
All right, this is another one that I 100% agree with. Now, to be technical, you guys know I like to be. If you, from a technical standpoint, if it's not in your employee's contract, like we talked about with the Michigan coach, if it's not in their contract that they can't date each other and you can't have fraternizing in the workplace, then you can't fire them. But just for argument's sake, let's just say you can fire them. It's in their contract. You're not allowing any sort of interpersonal dating with high-level employees. Then I 100% think that you should not have high-level employees. And I emphasize high-level employees because I'm talking about people in decision-making levels. I'm not talking about, let's say if you have a retail store, somebody that's in the stock room or somebody that's working on the floor and they're there just selling a product. I'm talking about somebody that has an effect on your business with the decisions they are making. And the reason why I think that is because if two people are cheating in the workplace and or just cheating, period, then those people are showing you that they're dishonest people. It's just really simple. And I don't feel like you could separate. People will tell you who they are. You just have to listen. Somebody will tell you sometimes like, oh, I'll be a different person when I'm married, or I'd be a different person if I had a different relationship, or this or that. No, if you're cheating, you're lying, you're coming in day to day and even maybe using your job as an excuse to be with another person, that is not the type of person I want in my company making decisions in my company. I 100% agree with them. And like I said, I have it written down here. People aren't one way under certain conditions, and they will say to you that they'll be different in other conditions. So like, oh my God, yeah, I'll cheat on my husband. Yeah, I'll cheat on my wife. But like at work, I'm the most honest person. Bro, if you're living a whole lie, what kind of person are you outside of that? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't agree with the I'm this way and that way. Now, to be fair, I think people can grow. I think people can change. So like, hey, let's say you cheated at one point or at another job or whatever. Like if you're some way 10 years ago or 5 years ago or a year ago or you've grown, I feel people can grow 100%. But actively, two people in my upper management cheating on each other and you have like your husbands and wives and are like coming to Christmas parties and stuff. Nah, brah, you gotta go. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, our fifth social discussion. Who respects marriage more, men or are women? This is from Cardi B. This is an old interview. I don't know why this is resurfacing. I totally agree with her, but I think we have different reasons why. Take a listen.
Men actually respect marriages.
What do you mean by that?
Women don't really respect marriages.
You're saying outside of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Like a man wouldn't come to you.
Yes.
Because he's like, oh, you've got your thing.
Yes, but these women, they will throw themselves at a married man like it's nothing. It's like, oh, well, whatever. When I announced that I was single, oh, boy.
All right, so I think a man thing is a little bit more than respect. I do think it's a respect thing. Like, hey, you're married to another man. I'm going to respect the other man. But I think a lot of it is fear. Like, I don't want no problems with that dude. You know what I'm saying? Because like a man, okay, he'll judge like, okay, she's pretty or she's this or whatever. But her man finding out, he could be crazy. He could have friends. He could have boys and it could blow up in my face. Where girls, I think if they get caught or if they find out or whatever, like a girl might call them or might say something, but you don't have to worry about anything physical. So what in some respects, depending on who it is, but a man, I'm telling you, there's a respect thing, yes, but there's more of a fear thing. Also, if a man likes you, if he really likes you, if it's not just a one night thing, if he actually likes you, then it's not attractive to him that you're married and speaking to him because he sees the type of girl that you are. So he doesn't want you to do that to him in the future. But that only applies if he really likes you. If it's a one night thing, then it's like, the one night is not worth the fear. But if he likes you and sees you as somebody he wants to be in a relationship with, you can be like, do that to me? Maybe I'll pass. So that's on the men's side. Now, on the women's side, I actually was having this conversation this past weekend, and I'm still trying to figure this out. Why women like to compete with other women. And somebody said that to me this weekend. A girl will be like, oh, I'm not really into this guy. I haven't really said anything to him. And then she'll see him on Instagram and see him with a girlfriend. And then that will kind of like drive her to kind of want to like compete with that girl. And then she might jump back in his DMs. And ironically, if he breaks up with that girl, she might not even want to be with him, but she just wants like the competition, which is maybe it's because I'm not a girl, but I don't get that. But still, we're going to like actually continue this conversation. So I'm going to actually try to understand it more. But women, weigh in, help me with this. Is that a true thing? Do women see guys with other girls and are like, ooh, I think it's like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. I didn't see him as boyfriend material. And maybe I missed out on that. And that sets up the attraction. But no, this girl was telling me that no, some girls see it just as competition and wants to try to get the guy's attention, and just getting his attention is enough. Just to be fair, the girl said that she was not like that at all, but she knows girls that are like that. I feel like every girl will say that who's going to admit to being that way, but I got confidence in her. So weigh in, let me know. Do men respect marriage more than women, and why? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, in our sixth social discussion of the day, why aren't men marrying as much these days? Now, this content creator said it's just risky. It's too risky. The benefit doesn't outweigh the cost. And for me, it's not the cost, let's say money-wise. For me, it's the emotional cost that I don't know 100% sure if it's I will never get married, but I do think that in today's age, there is a lot of risk. You guys heard me talk about this a lot. So I'll let you listen to this content creator. We'll talk about it more on the other side. Take a listen.
Women divorce men 70 to 80% of the time. I would argue in relationships, it's probably similar. Men aren't leaving, women are. So to a guy's point of view, he's going to commit to this girl. And what does he get? He doesn't get purity anymore. You know, these hoes. You know, he doesn't get youth anymore. So he doesn't get either of those things. A lot of times she already has a kid. So he's not fulfilling his mating strategy. On top of that, even if he does find a good woman that maybe has the qualities he's looking for, she was going to want him to marry her. And what does he get out of that? Oh, she can leave and take half and take my kid. And she's paid to take my kids away from me. She gets more money if she takes my children. And so from the men's point of view, they're just kind of like, F it, because like women aren't wives nowadays. And what do they get out of it?
But
like men are logical. They're logical people. And so they're thinking, does the benefit outweigh the cost? And like, I just think as women, we have to look at ourselves and say, the benefits we bring nowadays don't outweigh the cost for most men.
Whew, that's deep. Again, because I always like to be positive, I agree with her, but I don't think it's impossible for a girl to be out there that is worth it. But I do agree that a lot of girls out there don't realize that they're not bringing enough. And I think that's what she is saying. And it looks like more men are starting to be more like me versus, you know, before social media and even before women were changing, where men were like, oh, you could be pretty and you could cook and you could clean. Okay, that's enough. I feel like men are like, who cares about that? That's superficial. What are you bringing me? What are you bringing me in terms of love, value, commitment, loyalty, this, and, you know, uplifting? And then men too want that, or I 100% want that. Y'all know me. I want to invest into somebody and do all of that. And like I said, for me, it's not like for me, the cost is not necessarily like a financial cost, because you guys know my love language is quality time. To me, it's like, you know, you want me to give you my time. And that means, like, for me, time is also too when you're not around. Like, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about us. And if I'm giving somebody that much time where I'm thinking about us, I'm thinking about how to make us great, I'm thinking about how to make us work, then when we're together, we're having a good time, but I'm still pouring into you, you're still pouring into me. But what are you bringing? If you're not bringing the truckload, if you're not backing up an 18-wheeler, because y'all know I'm coming with an 18-wheeler, then it ain't worth it no more, man. You know? Looks is not enough. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Sorry, I have two of them here, but we don't have enough time. Can you suggest a baby boy's name that sounds like he comes from an ultra wealthy family? First name is Carlton Banks. Of course, Fresh Prince Miller. I thought that was funny. Somebody said Princeton. That's 100% sounds ultra wealthy. My son's name is Jackson, Maxwell, Lennox, and Banks. Woo, those are really good names. Somebody said Asher, William Cartwright. This is going to be hard for me because you know it's hard for me to pronounce names, but I'll do all that I can. Somebody said Aspen, Wellington. Okay, Maximilian. That's just bad if you ask me. All right, there's another one here I cannot pronounce. Somebody put like some like big long name. I think they're trying to make a joke to say like it's an African name. Horace, Ellington. Oh, yeah, Ellington sounds pretty ultra. Winston. I feel like Winston has like lost its lackluster. Maybe in like the 70s and 80s. I don't think that sounds ultra rich right now. Chuck Bass. No. Somebody said Farnsworth Bentley. Cyril. Again, that just sounds old. It doesn't sound like wealthy. Maddox. That sounds pretty hefty. Michael, LeBron, Floyd, Clifford, Jermaine, Woolard, Curtis, Chris, Denzel. Denzel sounds pretty ultra rich though. Kurt, Kobe, Morris, Kevin. No. Your son is Cartwright. Braxton. Braxton sounds rich. Terrell. Princeton, Carlton, Grayson, Richard Lawson. There's another one here I cannot pronounce. These are all pretty good. Let me know. Find some cool ones. Conroy Arthur. Okay, not just rich, ultra rich. A baby boy's name that you know he's ultra rich. Let me know in the comment section below. All right, y'all, that is it for today's show. Please let me know in the comment section if you liked the expansion of social discussion. For my daily listeners and my long-term listeners, you know that I really started this show wanting to talk about love and relationships and more life things, and it kind of morphed into a show about entertainment and political stuff. So not getting away from that, I just kind of want to expand of it a little bit more. So please let me know what you guys think and if you guys liked it, all right? Before I let you go, I just want to remind you of 3 quick things. For those of you looking back to give to the show, there's a thanks button at the bottom of the show. Give back to your favorite YouTube host. Y'all know we're working really hard. Second thing is sign up and be an Out Loud member today. First link below, or you see a join button above me. And thirdly, give back to yourself. Sign up with the second link below, the QR code beside me. Get the free 14-day free trial with Aura to see if any of your data has already been leaked or any of your credit card or banking information. It is free. All right. So make sure you sign up today. Before I let you go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen on podcast platforms, we're available on every single one. Just go to any pod website, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And we upload daily, 7 days a week. Now, if you're like me and you prefer watching shows like this, head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. 6 things I'm going to need you to do over on YouTube. The first 2, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, get the algorithming. The third and most important for me is please try to comment below. You guys are my co-hosts. People ask me, how do you do a show do it by yourself? This show is not done by myself. This show is done with you and I together. I pick some of the topics. I tell you all my take first, but it's up to you guys, whether you agree or not, to have a discussion with me in the comment section below. So it's very, very important. Now, for those of you who don't want to join in on the conversation, I do not want you to feel pressured. One of the things that you can do, though, is let me know which country or city that you are watching from. Every night before I go to bed, it's my thing. I look at the comment section, and I love to see how global the show is. So please let me know where you are watching from. Fourthly, for those of you who are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones because it helps in growing the channel. And like I just said 2 seconds ago, I am here to grow this channel and to grow this community. This is new media, so any help you can give me is appreciated. 5th, please sign up for the Out Loud membership. And 6th, please use the thanks button below to give back and support the show. For those of you who want to follow me outside of the show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's always the same handle, Trent Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please follow our show page, The Trent Out Loud Show, on the gram. All right, y'all. I hope this was able to help you get through your Monday night or Monday morning, whether you're driving in, driving home, or you're at the gym, getting ready for work, coming home from work. We're here to just help you get through your day, and I hope we were effective. We will see you back here tomorrow around the same time, same place. Love y'all. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace!